So the trick is, when you walk in, you got to take that 7 hours the night before and shove it up their fucking ass.
That's what it took me.
Where you create a problem. I love,
except for his right-wing stuff lately. David Mamet.
I'm only talking about true and false.
Oh, that's great. He goes, they're the gatekeepers. Yes, they bring in the obvious people.
And you are their superior morally, intellectually, and talent-wise. Because at one time, they were actors in plays, they worked backstage, and they fucking bailed, and they chose the desk. And that's who you're auditioning for. People that are beneath you are the people that are holding the keys to whether or not you're going to be the bellhop on Wizards of Waverly Place.
Maybe in a quirky independent
According
film.
to David Mamet, but he's right.
A quirky David Mamet book. I could play a bus driver or a police chief. I once had an audition.
When you said the butcher guy in NYPD Blue, I'm sure you thought the same thing. I went, that would be perfect. I would love. But if I'm watching Law and Order. If I'm watching Law and Order and they walk in and Fred Stoller's cutting meat and you just get to play, maybe you're just the thin, tough guy.
But Jay, what I learned in sitcom TV, they don't want a distraction. Like if I come in as even the vice principal, I'm 54, I could be a vice principal. I'm terrific. A man-child.
Mazel. You look terrific.
But I'm saying I don't look like I could chronologically even be a dad. I'm just off. One time I had a blind date with this woman. She was from Vienna. She goes, "How are you funny? Explain what you do. What is what you do?" I said, "I'm always off. Like, if I play a bus driver, people are going to go, wait a minute, that guy's not a bus driver." She goes, "You should have confidence. You could drive bus if you want." So
not only the Germans, the Viennese are really known
for not understanding
for their comedy chops.
Yeah. But on NYPD Blue, they don't want a distraction, or on Law and Order, the guy going.
But do you think if you walk, Matt Cohen, if you watch Law and Order and they walk in and they got to ask, and let's say Fred Stoller has like 8 lines as the butcher, that wouldn't be distracting at all to me. And I watch every episode religiously. But you know what's distracting to me? When it's like theater people that don't know how to compartment. Hold on. When it's theater people that get the guest stars and they act like theater people, detective, that's distracting to me. I'd much rather
But they always have the guy from, what's his name? Dennis Leary's show, who is the big guy working with
Lenny Clark.
Not Lenny Clark. He's an older guy. He was one of the firemen. They always have the Irish round-faced guy. And a friend of mine.
But when you go to a butcher, the guys that cut meat half the time look like you.
But watch Law and Order. Watch NYPD Blue. They look.
Look at the game tape. I'm telling you.
It's.
You could do it.
A friend of mine had a joke about.
Just act
not
like
a joke,
you look like a fucking butcher.
Whenever they're questioning them, they're always like, they're too busy to talk to the,
Yes.
They're always like, hey, I gotta go back to work. If the guy was interrogating me, I'd go, here's a cop. I'd stop doing my thing. They're always shoveling. Hey, yeah, we got a lot of black people around here. I don't know what you're talking about. Can I get back to work?
I did an episode of Law and Order Criminal Intent, and they had to I played a fashion designer.
Right.
And literally, I'm like speed walking through my,
you're too busy to talk to
showroom.
cops.
And I said to D'Onofrio and Catherine Hervé, I go, every time I watch this show, you have to chase people down. Like you're going, well, we'd like to talk to you. Well, I'm real busy writing all these parking tickets, man. So you're going to have to keep up. Like, no, there's a...
And did they say anything
They laughed and they said, well, we never really thought of that. And then at that moment, I actually got a little sad that you hadn't fucking thought of that because you've been doing this for 11 years. It should have crossed your mind that you're chasing people like, just one more thing.
I'm too busy to talk to a guy that could just smash my head in the wall.
That's what I like about Columbo. It was also white collar, and everyone had to stop their white, detective, I'm about to launch my sloop. I'm about to break a bottle. We're about to inaugurate this giant yacht. You're really interrupting things. And then they had to talk to him like, I'm in the middle of my symphony, detective.
Yeah. I mean, look, I would love to be all the butchers and everything, but I know when I'm wasting my time. I'll give you an example. Hannah Montana.
But you're not wasting your time.
No, I'm auditioning. I know when I'm not the guy. I know when I'm wasting my time. That's an old cliche. They'll think of you for something else.
Listen.
You just said the David Mamet thing, don't audition.
I never told you not to audition. I'm saying you have to audition and make it so good that you create a problem for them where now you're on the radar. And no matter who their list is, they keep circling back around to Fred Stoller because we never even thought that the butcher could look like that. He was so good. He was so interesting.
I think they're not that imaginative in TV. In independent films, they are. Like Hannah Montana, I work for them, those producers on
You realize
Suddenly
you said
Susan.
Hannah Montana and independent films in the same sentence just now.
I work for Suddenly Susan and Murphy Brown.
It's
for
Miley
the same producer.
Cyrus dressed as a blonde wig playing playing herself.
She'll gonna do some Jodie Foster stuff. I could see her in Taxi Driver.
If she lives that long, the way she's doing the marijuana.
But they wanted me to audition for a part, and I worked for
Hannah
these guys.
Montana?
Yeah, so I knew that it wasn't probably right for me because they'd go, we know Fred, bring him in. So I said I wasn't available. Then they gave me a part that was right for me. So when people know me and they want me to audition, it means it's not quite right, but they want to see anyway.
So you did the David Brenner show writing, okay, and what was after that? Take me as a brief, not point by point, of like writing gigs that you've had.
That was it. And then I came to LA.
No, you didn't go from David Brenner and then not work and then land on Seinfeld.
No. Brenner was in like 89 and 94 was Seinfeld. I wasn't pursuing writing at all.
So how did you get the Seinfeld gig?
I was, again, Steve Scroven had a surprise birthday party. And there was Larry David came after they said surprise because he didn't want to, surprise. Could you do Larry David?
Huh?
Is that one of your impressions?
No, I never tried.
Oh, really? And that's like Jackie Mason. And so basically, I'm there. He's like saying to me, like he's kind of putting me down, but only because
Scroven?
No, Scroven's the greatest guy. Larry David,
okay,
who's not the greatest guy. No, I'm just kidding. And he said, "When's the last time you got laid?" And we went to the same high school, and one time in New York, he's saying, "Me, you, and Gilbert, we're the biggest losers." So he put me in this thing. He just bullied me in affectionate, but no, it wasn't affectionate. So he's like. He kind of getting a kick out of, how pathetic he thinks I am, non-functional, making him feel better. And someone has said, "Hey, Larry, did you read my Seinfeld spec script?" And he goes, "How come you never wrote a spec script?" And I didn't because I never like a spec script. You're writing something won't get done, but you want to show I wasn't thinking of going the sitcom writing route. I'm not like these Harvard guys that they have it planned out. You go on this show.
I can't figure out what route you think you're going. Not stand-up, not acting, not writing.
Well, no, it's acting and writing.
But you just said, I'm not going to go the sitcom writing route. And then earlier you said you knew the stand-up route was not for you.
All right, wait a second. Let me see. I started as a stand-up.
Right.
I was in this comfort zone. And then I got into...
And you couldn't wait for the light to get off stage.
Yeah, so then I got into the guest star guy. The character actor guy I wanted to be. And so
if you die a character actor, is that happy for you? Are you cool?
I'd like a little bit of a higher level, maybe, but yeah.
I'm not saying character actor on Wizards of Waverly Place, like Coen Brothers, Buscemi. By the way,
my God! Beyond a dream.
By the way, my name's Chet. Like you're that guy.
Are you kidding me? That is my dream.
So everybody out there, Brian Koppelman, get Fred Stoller in your next movie as a character guy.
I would love to be, not just a delivery guy, but a murderer or a this or that. Oh no, that's. And look, if I die and it's just this, I'm not complaining. I'm just, I think I was in the wrong generation. If I was the 70s.
You work more than Eddie Pepitone.
All right, whatever. There's no rivalry.
No, I'm just.
No, I'm not complaining. I'm just saying.
I know you're not complaining, honey. I'm just saying. I'm trying to give you more credit than you're giving yourself.
I'm saying I'm not. It's not that. I'm not saying things are awful. I'm just saying things are what they are. I'm just saying I don't like cattle call auditions for delivery guy parts for people I've worked for before. Nor should you.
That would make you sad. That would make you one of those people at Starbucks with their laptops open, typing ASDF, JKL,
I'm not. I don't put myself down. I'm more self-aware. Delusional people amaze me. There's a guy next to me. He pretends he's a photographer and a director, and I wish I could be delusional. I get laid more. I'd go to Starbucks. Or I wrote on Seinfeld. That's not how you do it. Or I'll write your one-woman show. These fixer-up guys.
But you're gonna have to fuck me.
Yeah. I wish I knew how to. I want to help his one-woman show.
Matt Cohen's one-woman show is amazing.
No. It's Steve Buscemi. I want to be Herb Edelman. I'm from the generation. The TV shows I watched, like Bob Newhart, they had Barney Miller. They weren't good-looking, hunky.
It's just a house.
Garage is cool. They had. Oh, she's going out. Oh, I get worried about that dog. No, don't back up on the dog.
No, she's not. She doesn't drive. Everything's fine, Fred.
It's I wanted to be like on Barney.
Your mother's neuroses is in front of me right now. It's great.
But do you know what I'm saying? Now they would never have sitcoms with middle-aged, not great-looking guys. And I'm not putting myself down. I'm better looking than Jack Sue and Barney Miller. But they would never have a show like Bob Newhart or Barney Miller. And that's what I wanted to be. You know what I'm saying?
Sue.
You know?
Hey, Barn.
And Steve Landisberg, that would have been...
And Rojo.
Yeah. Hey, Barn. Yeah, he did a Hey, Barn. You know what I'm saying?
I do.
So
Steve Scroban was having a wrap party for what?
Not a surprise party for his birthday.
Okay.
And
my phone is here. Sorry. So, and at that, Larry David asks you, how come you never wrote a spec script? And you tell him.
I said I wasn't really thinking of going that route. No, I'm happy what I do.
Let's stay on this. So what happens? You decide, if the boss tells me
He said nothing will happen, but I will read it. He stressed nothing will happen, and I wasn't going to do it. But, excuse me, then I remember where this is.
Put the cap on that water, see?
Then I thought people would kill to have Larry David read their spec script, so I said, let me see if I could conjure one up.
Okay. Now, when you do a spec script, for those listening, do you watch a shitload of Seinfeld and just go through the rhythm of it?
Yeah, I watched a bunch. I got on tape. This was back in '94 when you didn't have Hulu and, I sound like Hulu and Schmecha and...
No, I'm waiting. Everybody's with you here.
Yeah. So I actually got someone gave me a script to read and so I thought I figured out the rhythm, but I didn't know you had 4 storylines. I only had 2, a Jerry and maybe a Kramer story. Now, when I was on staff, you had to have all 4 story guys in. So I figured out they didn't even have the computers. I had my friend helped me do the paginate it, and I put together a thing from some stories of mine. And then he calls me up, hey, I like the thing about the composite. And I go, hey, you think he'll use it? He goes, oh, let me see. Let me ask Jerry. And is that a good impression?
Yeah.
So then
whatever keeps this going forward, sure.
And
I want to know the story.
Then he goes, hey, you want to be on staff? And at that time, Steve Scrovan, this guy Bob Shaw, Don McHenry, Bill Masters, they were kind of using comics from his New York days and feeding them or milking them for premises. So they didn't get
were they on staff or were they just either? Okay.
So they were on staff.
I remember I saw Bob Shaw. I opened for him once a long time ago at the Comedy Connection in Providence, Rhode Island. I was 19.
Wow.
And he went on stage, real short guy, bald, fun as hell. And he walks on stage and goes, I'm out of toilet paper. So I've been, for the last 4 days, wiping my ass with Melita coffee filters. That was his opening joke.
Oh my God.
But it was such a bizarre rhythm and cadence that the place went bananas. He just walked on stage.
He went over?
Oh, I don't think he ever did. I never saw him not go over because he could go so dirty so quickly, and he's got like this fatherly look to him.
Yeah. So like a different version of what's his name who died.
Good old what's his name?
Oh man, I'm having dementia because I can't remember names, and I couldn't remember. This scared me yesterday where the stamp goes on the envelope. It took me a few minutes ago. I really was getting nervous.
Upper right, honey.
Robert Schimmel. Love Schimmel.
Yeah, an older Schimmel.
Yeah.
So Larry David says to you, I like the thing with the composite that you wrote.
Let me ask Jerry.
Okay.
And then a week later, he calls me, hey, you want to be on staff? And it was
you
weird.
Said no.
Nah, yeah. And,
none for you, Mr. David.
I, of course, thought I knew I had to do it, but it was weird because I was starting to get more of the guest star work and put it on hold for 9 months. Back then, I thought 9 months, put my acting career. To me, it's like when James Franco goes to college. Yeah, why would I do that? It's,
but the listeners know. Maybe they don't know. Like writing on Seinfeld, you and I have had conversations where we both agree that your Kindle single, which please go get if you
$1.99 and get it on Jay Mohr's.
JMoore.com, go to Amazon, get Fred's Kindles. I didn't know Kindle singles existed. That's a whole other.
I didn't know
we'll get too sidetracked. It's fascinating,
and they're doing really well,
and they're great. But it's a lot. We have similar writing styles. It's dark, and it's our fault.
And I never thought of Jay Mohr as the outsider, but I loved gasping for airtime and the empathy for you. And
Thank you.
yeah, and I never thought yours as an outsider, and mine is being an outsider. All these Harvard guys that fit in and speak the language, and I was on my own, and no one was really helping me write because it was like everyone's trying to get their own stories on, and they
But being a Seinfeld writer, the impression to you and to me and to Matt Cohen and to everybody listening is your passport is punched. You don't have to struggle anymore. You're like getting Saturday Night Live. I always equate it to being governor.
Sure.
You're always governor. If you haven't been governor since '75, when you walk into a ball